For years, the idea of Forza Horizon 6 taking this Horizon Festival to Japan felt almost too good to be true. Endless rumours, constant fan requests, and now it's finally here. After spending the past week tearing through neon-lit city streets, rain-soaked mountain passes, bamboo forests, and snow-covered towed roads, I genuinely think that Playground Games have delivered the most ambitious Horizon game that's ever been made. This is bigger than just a brand new map. The handling has been overhauled, weather and seasons now dramatically affect your driving, customization has expanded massively, and Japan itself honestly might be the best open world that this franchise has ever seen.
You have arrived at your destination.
So, does Forza Horizon 6 live up to the hype surrounding one of gaming's most requested locations, or does it stall before the finish line? Well, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and here is my full review and Xbox performance analysis of Forza Horizon 6.
No, you won't hear this until you land, but you are going to love it here.
Right from the opening sequence, Forza Horizon 6 makes one thing very clear to you. Playground Games understands the weight of this entire setting. The introduction itself is just pure spectacle in the best way, throwing you between different cars, environments, and weather conditions in a way that shows off the sheer range of this brand new world. Once that opening settles down though, you are introduced to one of the biggest changes immediately in the game, and that's the return of the wristband system.
A purple wristband is no simple task.
This is a really smart shift for the series, so instead of throwing supercars, hypercars, and just endless rewards at you like we saw within the first hour of Forza Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 6 slows down the pace slightly and gives progression so much more purpose. You will begin in these lower class of vehicles and gradually work your way up through different wristband tiers by completing events, and then even earning points and proving yourself across different disciplines. Stuff like street races, rally events, trailblazers, and even drift zones all feed into this brand new structure. What I like most is it gives the game a genuine sense of momentum. You are not simply collecting rewards for the sake of it, as you actually feel like you're climbing through the festival ranks. It also encourages you to use a broader range of cars as well. In Forza Horizon 5, I felt it was way too easy to jump straight into something ridiculously powerful and just never look back. Here, the slower cars matter again, upgrades feel much more meaningful, and you actually have to upgrade your cars if you want to progress, and moving from a modest hatchback into something genuinely fast feels like an achievement rather than an inevitability. Alongside wristbands, there is also a separate exploration focus system that's built around stamps. These are earned by discovering locations, taking photos, completing story missions, finding collectibles, and just engaging with the world beyond just racing.
Thanks.
And this works pretty beautifully because Japan is the kind of map that really deserves to be explored. The game will constantly reward your curiosity, whether you're searching for the good old XP boards, tracking down the new mascots which they've added, or simply photographing a quiet roadside shrine that's hidden beneath some autumn trees. I feel like Playground Games has finally found a better balance between racing progression and open world discovery. You're always being rewarded, but rarely in a way that feels overwhelming, and they've just really nailed it.
Arrived at your destination.
The biggest compliment I can give Forza Horizon 6 is that this version of Japan feels like a living postcard, and it's not just realistic in the strictest sense because Forza Horizon has never really been about one-to-one recreations, but it's emotionally authentic. Yes, the roads might not be as narrow as real-life Japan, but considering this is a game built around arcade fantasy and going as fast as you can, widening up those roads slightly was always going to be that inevitability. When you add it all together, it captures the fantasy of just driving through Japan with some extraordinary confidence I never knew was possible. Tokyo is going to be the immediate showpiece though, especially when delving into this game for the first time, and it's easily one of the most impressive cities in the series that they've ever created. You have towering skyscrapers, elevated expressways, alongside narrow streets which are glowing with shop fronts, reflective asphalt, and just huge intersections that all come together to create a city that feels so dense, vertical, and alive. But what makes this map so exceptional is that Tokyo is only one part of it. Outside the city, the world actually opens up to a remarkable variety of different landscapes. You have the peaceful rice paddies stretching out beneath pale morning skies, countryside roads lined with cherry blossom trees, bamboo forests where the light filters through in thin green shafts, and coastal roads that curve along the edge of the sea while you're going through these small seaside towns. I mean, even upon that, you can even start climbing. The mountain regions are where Forza Horizon 6 truly becomes special. The roads become narrower, much more dangerous, and even more dramatic. Sharp switchbacks curl around cliff edges, snow begins to gather at higher elevations, fog rolls across the road without any warning, and the world becomes much quieter, harsher, and totally cinematic. The Tateyama Snow Corridor is one of the most visually striking areas in the entire game, and driving between those towering walls of snow while the sky opens up above you is genuinely breathtaking. It has that rare quality where you almost forget you're in a racing game because the scenery itself becomes the main attraction. This is for me personally where Japan really surpasses Mexico. Forza Horizon 5 was utterly gorgeous, I can't deny that, but parts of the map just feel broad and very empty. Forza Horizon 6 feels much denser, more vertical, and way more deliberate, as every region has a stronger identity and every transition feels purposeful. The world itself constantly changes its mood as well. You've got everything from Tokyo being very electric, the countryside being serene, and the forest feeling intimate, whereas the mountains themselves are very majestic, and the snowy roads are almost a hostile environment. That variety in Forza Horizon 6 is a sense of journey the series has not always managed to sustain. We saw it with Forza Horizon 4 slightly, but now Forza Horizon 6 has really taken it to the ultimate next level. One of the biggest improvements in Forza Horizon 6 though is the way that weather and seasons will influence the overall experience. That's not just going to be down to visual decoration either. Stuff like rain, snow, and even seasonal changes now have a much stronger effect on how your cars behave, especially within the mechanical departments. I mean, heavy rain in this game actually reduces your grip quite noticeably, snow will change your braking distances, and even mountain roads can feel completely different depending on the conditions, and that also goes across to the different races as well, and not just free roaming around the world. It makes the world itself feel very reactive, and no two races are really ever going to be the same with that. I mean, the same stretch of road can be relaxing in dry daylight and beautiful at its sunsets, but it can be really intimidating in the fog and genuinely treacherous during heavy rainfall. This also adds a lot more depth to the car choice and tuning as well, as a high-powered rear-wheel drive car might feel incredible on dry city roads, but it will then become far more demanding in wet mountain conditions. The handling model has quite clearly been adjusted to sort of convene with this. Cars feel a lot heavier, they are way more distinct than they did in Forza Horizon 5, and braking has a ton more bite and consequence, closer in some ways to that of the Forza Motorsport series. You can actually feel the surface beneath your car more convincingly now. Stuff like tarmac, gravel, and mud and snow all do communicate differently throughout the car, and it makes driving feel more physical and totally more satisfying. Now, at launch, Forza Horizon 6 will include around 550 cars, which is a massive number and one of the strongest launch rosters that the series has ever seen. Naturally, Japan gives Playground Games the perfect excuse to celebrate JDM culture, and cars like the RX-7, the Silvia S15, the MX-5 and various Kai vehicles feel completely at home here, and many of them come with new customization options as well. Some of the new body kits are really fantastic. The Liberty Walk options for cars like the RX-7 and S15 are going to be incredibly popular, and even smaller vehicles like the Honda Acti getting wide body support shows how playful the customization can be at the right moment in time. The Forza Edition cars are also much more interesting this time around. I did feel they were quite limited in Forza Horizon 5. Instead of simply feeling like bonus variants and minor perks, they now have much stronger visual identities and more exaggerated builds. For instance, the Mazda MX-5 Forza Edition is built like a ridiculous drag machine with turbos replacing the headlights, and that is exactly the kind of over-the-top madness that Horizon should really embrace. That said, the overall customization is still one of the areas where I did kind of want more. A lot of returning cars still have the same familiar upgrade options, and the menus themselves are largely unchanged from Forza Horizon 5. There are certainly improvements like being able to place vinyls on windscreens, which is a very welcome addition. I mean, I managed to make a Lightning McQueen inspired car, but I still think the series needs a more dramatic customization overhaul in the near future. Even so, the improved handling, stronger car identity and new body kits makes the garage feel very exciting again. Creative Labs also does return in Forza Horizon 6, and it's much more flexible this time around, and I feel this is going to be a point that a lot of different review outlets and even previews at the time really did miss. You can now create events and place objects almost anywhere on the map, which makes custom race building feel far less restrictive than ever before, as it's much quicker, smoother, and much more natural for us to use. The biggest new feature though is going to be the estates option. This actually gives players a large customizable space connected to one of the houses where you can then build your own driving playground. That can be building stuff like drift circuits, stunt parks, even jump courses, or just technical handling routes. The potential here is absolutely enormous, and I cannot wait to see what other players build when the game actually fully releases. Because these places are also shared with other players, I genuinely think estates could become one of the more important additions in the game within that long term. The Forza Horizon community has always been very creative. I've seen some absolutely wild additions in Forza Horizon 5, but now players have the tools to build so many more ambitious experiences. It is one of those features that may not sound massive on paper, but could end up defining the game months after its launch. I know many of you will be asking though, and yes, online play is still strong from day one, so you don't have to worry there. The Eliminator, Hide and Seek, and even custom races, alongside championships and co-op events are all here, alongside the usual range of competitive and casual options and even custom game modes. There is nothing that completely reinvents the multiplayer wheel this time around, but the improved handling and strong weather effects will make racing with players feel much more engaging. I can't really touch on any other points within the online section. For me, the festival playlist wasn't actually open at the time, so I can't really give you any idea as to whether that has been improved from Forza Horizon 5. But at this moment in time, multiplayer still looks pretty good. I expect they'll probably add more modes down the line. But yeah, if you're going to be jumping into online play, it's still very good there. Now, one area that I really wanted to delve into a little bit deeper, and I suspect that many of you will be tuning into this review for, is the performance on your Xbox Series consoles. And this was one area for me personally where I was pleasantly surprised and almost kind of taken back by it. I think it's one of the areas within the entire Forza Horizon 6 experience which genuinely did blow my mind. Right off the bat, the Xbox Series X version of Forza Horizon 6 comes with two graphical options. You get that trusty quality mode, which is a higher visual fidelity with better foliage, environmental details, etc, but then it is stuck at that 30 FPS. Whereas the performance mode is an incredibly consistent 60 FPS minus all the bells and whistles, and hence runs at a slightly lower visual fidelity. Honestly, I ran most of my game time within the performance mode. The difference in textures and foliage is not really that noticeable when you're looking at it from the trade-off of 30 FPS to 60 FPS, so that's why it's totally worth it. I have always found that 60 FPS is almost a necessity in driving games, well for me anyway, and in motion and at speeds you're going at, you're really not going to notice a massive difference if some blade of grass is going to look slightly lower in resolution quality compared to that of performance mode. That frame rate is almost required as well, so you can beat opponents online or within the single player campaign. I did get some lovely shots and you can really see the visual uplift when in that quality mode though, but I would suggest maybe only turning it on when you want to get that crisp image for say photo mode, or you just want to take in the world with the best visual quality possible. That does lead me on to the Xbox Series S though, and I'm going to bring you some absolutely fantastic news. The Xbox Series S does include the same graphical options, both a quality and performance option, so you can just go ahead and play at 60 FPS on that little machine if you do fancy. The noticeable hit will of course be within the resolution and the texture quality, but I tell you what, it's not bad at all, and if anything, it really does stand out well on its own 2 feet. I mean, if you put both of them side by side, that being the Series X and S performance modes, you get the obvious bits like draw distances and a little fuzziness when it comes to the Series S, but overall, it's an insanely well optimized title. This is a remarkable achievement by Playground Games, and although the performance mode can have a little bit of a flat look on the series consoles in the wide expanse of say Tokyo City, the overall visual fidelity and performance on the series consoles is utterly outstanding. This is one of the best ports I've ever seen on Xbox, and I just have to give massive praise to the developers. Overall, Forza Horizon 6 is Playground Games at their very best, and the world of Japan is honestly one of the best locations that the team has ever created. Not only is the world full of life and includes a ton of variety, from busy Tokyo streets to the snow-swept mountains and even quaint villages, but the amendments that were made to the single-player campaign to keep you engaged and using a wider variety of cars is a huge improvement. I just cannot understate the changes to handling as well, as it really is a significant overhaul that was very much needed, and it's vastly improved. And when you add in things like the weather conditions that heavily influence your car's traction, movement and handling, I'm just amazed at this achievement within this genre. I have never felt so invested in a Forza Horizon game, and that really is testament of the Playground Games team, and I haven't felt a feeling like this since diving into Forza Horizon 4 for the first time during the COVID period. That is why today I'm going to be giving Forza Horizon 6 a 9.8 out of 10, and is an essential must-play title on the Xbox Series consoles as of right now. If you have Xbox Game Pass, then this one is going to be a must-play when it drops into the service on the 19th of May. If you enjoyed this review though, do smash that like button and do subscribe as well for more Xbox reviews like this. I have actually put out a deeper video in the graphical comparison department and also frame rates for Forza Horizon 6 here on the channel, so check that video out on the screen now if you want to see those graphical differences.